Yeah,
Oh, ho,
yo,
ho.
yeah, it's going down right now. That's what happens when you
Yeah,
wake up in the morning
yeah,
and get stuff together. Yeah, I mean, this is all
yeah.
stuff that was
No,
around.
yeah. That's how you feeling.
Yeah,
That's how
man. That's
that's how you
yo, we had
feeling.
to
That's how
step it
you
up.
feeling. That's how you feeling, huh?
Had to
I ain't
step it
even
up.
mad. I'm not even mad at that.
Yo, man, I'm just saying we had to step it up. Because we're constantly working to step up this situation.
You know
So,
what I mean?
I was like, yo, we're gonna step it up. And it just comes from constant reading. We always telling people like you have to keep learning. So kept learning. We trying to improve our situation here, make it look, fancy up the place. I mean, I only had the banner with me on it, so I just put that up there. But
Nah, it's cool, but you know what I mean? I mean,
it may
the
have to come
the
down when our people get here, but I can take it
yeah,
in and out. I mean, it's really about okay, you learn how to use the stuff you have.
yeah,
You learn how to
yeah,
use it.
yeah.
Get a little, just a little different situation here. That other background was real amateurish. So I said,
It's
yo,
all good. It's all
we
good.
changing. We up here like this now. We good. I got somebody working on the thumbnails for the videos as we speak. Um,
Okay.
well, kind of got to go pay him. And here we are. So I thought
Nice.
I thought we used, a hardcore bounce track to bring us in.
That was
So
that Knight Rider. Yeah, that Knight Rider offset. Let's call it that.
yeah, yeah.
Dun, dun,
Do a
dun,
little
dun,
countdown.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun, 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 dun.
that's what I'm saying. We got, we got a little countdown. We got the countdown. Got a little specialized, personalized countdown.
No
So
doubt.
it's spring cleaning. So we did
No
we
doubt.
did some
No doubt.
stuff. Well, yeah. So,
No doubt.
but nevertheless, live and direct, we are back once again. We
Saturday, August 9th. Good morning.
have good morning, sunshine. That's what
Good
we got.
morning.
So we're back for another edition. We're here. We're in the building. So I don't have to do a whole lot of talking on the intro. Did all the talking right there. So we good. We're
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
what's on the agenda for today?
Well,
What's
we got a special guest popping in here in a few.
Yep.
Uh, so we'll rise to that occasion. We'll introduce that individual at the appropriate time.
Yeah, that'll
Uh,
be fun.
we always do light introductions, and we let them kind of just introduce themselves, right? So
Yeah.
you know, we're
Little
working our
fun.
way up to the big leagues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
the
you know,
visuals.
right,
We're trying to build the visuals. It's all about the
absolutely,
visuals and all that.
absolutely. But in the
So
meantime, we back here on another Saturday. And what do we usually begin with? We usually begin with, a slight book review. Think you're
yeah.
gonna like this one, man. Think you're gonna like this one.
Okay.
Think you're gonna
Talk.
like this one. This one comes off of um I want to say this week's experiences,
Oh boy.
right?
Oh
So
boy.
this it still flows into the flow of the books, right? And the
Uh-huh.
concept of the books, right?
Yep.
Well, let me just do my book intro. Welcome back everybody. What I mean, this is the part of the segment where we break down big ideas for business owners, right? Strategies, challenges, etc. Right? We break them all the way down, turning those big, great ideas and advices and strategies into small, practical steps. And we use the books and the reviews of the books to relate it to real life scenarios, right? So if you're not a reader, then listen to a book. If you're not a book listener to a person that listens to audiobooks, then I don't know. Maybe Google, but you're not going to get a lot from there, right?
Yeah.
So today we're going to dive into a pretty interesting book.
Mm-hmm.
I think it flows into some of the other books that we talked about. Again, real short recap: Seeing Around Corners. Now, these books I'm calling off, we did previous episodes. Go back and check them out. Seeing Around Corners, What Got You Here Won't Get You There, right? Who Moved My Cheese? And then your next 5 steps, right? So we're looking at the baseline. Now, this book we're going to be talking about here is called Scaling Up.
Okay.
And this is by Verne Harnish. Verne Harnish. And just, again, we are not sponsored by these books, but we're sponsored by our eagerness to learn and to grow and to share this information with everyone as we get it, right? So that's our motivation here. All right. Now, this book basically high level is you want to grow your business. It's going to take more than vision. It takes money. It takes cash. It takes capital. Right?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, but the core of the book, the core framework, they spell it CORE. I'm gonna say core as in KOR, right? Core framework, right? Of the book is four areas: people, strategy, execution, and cash. Okay. So get the right team in place when you have people, right? Strategy. What is your clarity, right? And how are you different? So again, what are you clear about? What do you have an understanding about? And so some of those clarification points lead into like, what is your core values within the organization? How do you govern your people? How do you govern the culture? What is the purpose, right? What is the promise that the brand is delivering? Are you built? This go back to one of the other questions in, I think it was in your next 5 moves, right? What is your brand promise? What is your brand? What is the meaning of your brand, right? And that goes with, are you deciding to have a employee-based business that you created for yourself? Is it a business that's going to last legacy-wise? Is it you know what I mean? Is it, what kind of business is it, right? Down to execution, which is the other core. Do more with less. Yeah, there you go. Right. So do more with less, meaning setting your priorities. You can do more if you have priorities in place. There's the other big thing that James likes is data and metrics, right? I think all business owners, but I'm kind of picking on them in this regard because we had a almost 3-hour conversation about something super enlightening yesterday. You guys have no idea. I almost pinged them at 2:30 in the morning. But anyway, data and metrics.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And then check this out. He talked about not just having meetings, because you don't want to have feel-good meetings. You don't want to waste time with meetings, right? But it says have meeting rhythms to your meetings.
Absolutely.
Right. So short and consistent to the point with actionable next steps, right?
Yeah.
Process improvement and then again alignment with who your staff and your employees or your team are, right? Now, to that point, right? To that point, if you cannot, because one of the things we always talk about is strategic partnerships or an ecosystem, right? If you will, right? Make sure you have people surrounding you in your business. Maybe there are other entrepreneurs and or vendors that can help you deliver your services and goods to your customers and your clients, right? So build that ecosystem if you're not at the stage of hiring employees or additional employees, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So something to think about. And then bing, 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 bing. The number 4 one is cash. So what is cash in the business? Oxygen. If you don't have oxygen, you can't breathe. If you can't breathe, then what are you doing? You're dying or you're dead. Right?
I was like, yeah, that one was pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So
dying on the vine.
Right. So, but the most important piece in this book that we're going to elaborate on for a few. But before I go there, you got anything you want to say to the high level points that I just
Oh no, I'm rolling with what you're saying. I mean, I'm all in alignment with that. So
Okay.
it's all good for me.
And so scaling, before I drop this one critical piece, which I thought the book to be very, very, very interesting, and this part of the book to be very, very interesting. Scaling up is not just about just growing the business, right? So make no mistake, we're not just saying you made money, now you want to make more money and you want to be you want to make bigger money, and then you want to go do big things. That's not what this is about. Scaling up is about taking your slow time and churning and burning, making decisions and developing systems, putting systems in place and making sure there's proper alignment so the business can survive and the business can provide a lifestyle for you. And the business can provide a lifestyle for the people that possibly work for you or will work for you, but also add on to your legacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might have a legacy business, not just for yourself. You might have the purpose and the mission of your business might be something related to the industry or a need within the world.
Absolutely.
Might just be a need. So your legacy is the legacy of the people that you serve, because we're always serving people, right?
That's pretty hardcore right there. That's pretty hardcore.
Hey, that's a corner moment right there.
Yeah.
KOR, corner moment, right?
Yeah, that was I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes we get caught up into our own self soapbox situation, whiffums, what's in it for me, that we forget that, those of us that get up every day doing what we do to serve, to provide business services and products to serve the people, our mission and vision is a legacy to the people that we serve.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So we're here to deliver information. We're here to help people move the needle. We're uniquely qualified. We have stuff that we're doing. Let's put it like that, right? And we're trying to bring all of that information out into the world. So our mission is to make sure we're not just giving you more information to go put on your bookshelf or to save it in your Google Drive or whatever folder you got it in, but you can actually have an impact. We have an impact on you. You have an impact on yourself, your organization, your environment, your neighborhood, your family, your customers and clients, right? All right, cool.
Yep.
Here we go. Cash conversion cycle, my brother.
Oh, wait. All right.
This is the most important. I know. I was like going through this book, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna get him off this. I don't know if I'm gonna get him off the ground, put him back on the ground once I bring this up, right?"
No, so, I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
But no, so cash conversion cycle, interesting, right? So here's the methodology of the cash conversion cycle. And I almost guarantee you, and I'm gonna put this in coaching, in my coaching sessions with my clients, my business clients, right? Basically, what it does, it determines the time it takes for money to leave the business and for money to come back in the business.
Okay.
And there's a whole ecosystem built around that one sentence or that one statement.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then your other question is, okay, you got to determine how long or short is your cycle of cash, converting that cash long, or is it short? Right? And you got to find the I don't know and the in-betweens to determine that. Then you got to understand why it matters for scaling purposes. Again, scaling is you sold 10 widgets today. You started the business last month. 30 days later, you sold 10 widgets. You need to make 30 widgets to sustain the business, just to break even. May not be paying yourself, but just to break even. So how do you get to 20 more widgets? That's scaling on the most simplest level. We're not talking about you in the tower. We're not talking about you got 400 acres. We're not talking about buying Land Rovers and Range Rovers to write them off. Electronic vehicles. We're not talking. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about 10 widgets to 30 widgets,
no,
right?
wait a minute. No, but all the other stuff is way more interesting.
Oh, no. Listen. It's interesting to what? To the eyes, until the eyes get cloudy with what? Tears.
No, well, you had to go there.
You
Okay,
understand what I'm saying? So
understood.
so let's talk about what scaling really, really means, right? And
Mhm.
so, okay. So why does it matter? Because growth requires cash. It's as simple as that. Is it tied up? Where is it tied up? Is it tied up in your processes? Maybe you don't have a process, or maybe you have the wrong process, or maybe you have an employee that's not doesn't fit the right shoe. Maybe they need to be in another position in the business, or they need some additional training, right? Inventory, right? Unpaid invoices, right? A lot of times, James and I talk about, because this happens in the industry. And actually, not just our industry. I think every industry that business owners don't really pay attention to. As a business owner, you become a lender to your customers and clients. So what does
Yes.
that mean? You're
Yeah.
providing services, they on a payment plan. If they don't pay, you're lending them time against the money to pay the bill.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's
You
exactly.
understand what I'm saying? So
No, I understand.
how do we shorten the focus is to shorten the cash conversion cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's some key points to it. Know your daily revenue rate. That's a KPI. Y'all heard us talk about KPIs in most of our episodes. Key performance indicators, right? You
That's
don't
right.
get in the car and your car can only go 10 miles an hour and you're trying to get on the highway at 65, 70, because then it's not going to perform properly. Performance, KPIs, right? Identify any payment issues and causes, whether that's process bottlenecks, unclear invoices, unclear deliverables, right? Um, Slow follow-up,
My bad.
huh?
Yeah, don't
Okay.
my bad. Hey.
No, you good. You
Yeah,
good.
I'm
You good.
yeah.
You good. You good.
I was just checking our
So,
stream.
oh
That's
no,
all.
you good. You ain't interrupt me at all. You ain't. I
Okay.
was gathering my thoughts because I was like, let me not go there yet. You know what I'm saying? So again, practical ways. We identify challenges. We identify what it means, right? So practical ways to speed up that cycle. There's a couple. Increase your process speed. Eliminate mistakes as much as you can. But that comes from having rhythmic meetings about identifying areas of issues within the business.
Yep. Got a comment
Tighten
here.
collections. Tighten collections. Scaling your business operations to achieve success. It's all about your why, right? Negotiate terms. Renegotiate terms. Don't just accept the initial terms, because inflation happens. You may not be the
Woo.
only person that's a vendor or a client for somebody. Or maybe you renting a building, renting a room, renting equipment. You know, you're not the only one. So don't isolate yourself. See what's out there. Have a conversation, and that's where good relationship comes in with your vendors and building owners and et cetera, right? And then improve your turnover time for production,
Oh,
not just inventory, but production. Period. You know what I'm saying?
it's like a manifesto.
Yeah. So here, let me hit you with this so you can throw this up there on the screen for them. Um, um, yeah, I just sent it to you.
Oh boy. Real time activity going on here.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Yeah. This is where we at. This is where we at.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
we
Let me
we 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 talk about things
mm-hmm.
that we should be talking about, that we're supposed to talk about. Again, we getting better at productions because our production meetings is what we do on a daily basis. And then we just kind of do a summation. But for the most important piece, we do analyze certain things, situations, business happenings, if you will, because those are our experiences. When we have experiences, we can sit and talk about those experiences. We can learn from those experiences. So why not share that information with you guys in real time? Because those moments do go away. Those moments become memories. But while we experience those moments, we can turn them into momentum. For you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man,
Right.
you
So yeah,
serious.
I'm gonna yield back right now. I'm gonna let my partner just,
I'm getting the materials upline, Professor. Yo,
okay,
yo, hold up, man.
okay.
Hey, you go slide that to me, then throw it my way. I'm like, I'm trying to get some
No,
material.
I was trying to let you get your thoughts right. You can take,
I'm doing 850 things back here. That's why you're hearing stuff going on in the
no
background.
doubt, no doubt, no doubt. All right, so while you doing that, I'm gonna give
Yeah,
some
go ahead, keep it moving. Let me
let,
go
let me
get this
let,
up here.
I'm gonna give y'all some quick check questions for yourself. Okay? Ask yourself these questions. Make sure I'm waiting for y'all to get a pencil and paper or pen and paper, whatever you want.
You make
Are
them
y'all
go
ready?
old
Y'all
school.
got it? Oh yeah. Oh, whatever. Because they not, nobody's I don't think too many people right now is at a computer. It's nice outside, at least over here in this part of the world. It's nice out. You
It
know
is
what I mean?
beautiful. It's a sucker
You
move
know,
though. It's
but
the
we still have some people overseas, like Africa, that does listen to us. Remember?
yeah, true. But I
Yeah.
mean,
So
we just right now. This is the setup where we are. Is make you
yeah,
think it's
yeah,
make you think it's
yeah.
fall. And
Absolutely. Well,
wow,
it's nice though because we've been having 108-degree
I
days,
know. It's
and
been
that's not temperature. That's humidity. Like that's crazy.
yeah, it's really ridiculous. So
But all
that's
right, so
that.
let's go to this. Let's go to your check-in questions over here real quick. All right.
Oh yeah, you got the check-in. You
Yeah,
got
yeah,
the
and then we're gonna cover this roadmap. This is a roadmap for you guys. All right. So little something we threw together for you. We'll make sure we include it in the download at the bottom of the screen so you guys can download it when you come back to this episode and take some additional notes, right? But these
yes.
are quick self-check questions that you should think about. And as you think about these, you'll come up with other questions, right? And maybe these questions don't fit you. Maybe you have your own questions, but hey, we're here to help. How many days does it take from spending $1 to getting it back?
Mm. Mm. Wow. Okay. All right. I see you, Professor. I see you.
No, I'm just,
I
I'm
see
just
you.
saying, like, we gotta,
That's heavy.
keep, but you gotta keep digging deep, man. You know what I mean? Like, just because you're digging down and you hit a root or you hit some stone, don't mean that the dirt is not porous around it. You just gotta find the new spot to dig.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think I mentioned this before, but this is a quick check question. Excuse me. Where is your cash getting stuck?
Mm.
Production, delivery, collection, or yourself?
Jeez. Wow. This could be a whole show. Mm.
Well, we're gonna pick this up on further on conversations with Core, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go way. I have some other stuff that we're gonna expand on in that episode. But all right, what's one step you could take this week coming up to reduce your delay by 5 days? If it's not 5 days, 3 days, 3 to 5 days. What is one step you can do to reduce that delay by 3 to 5 days?
That's heavy, man. That's heavy. That's heavy. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna keep all my commentary to you go through all this.
Oh, I'm
And
yielding back now. Now we got the
oh, you
roadmap.
yielding
So I
back?
mean,
Okay.
yeah, unless you want me to go through the roadmap real quick. I mean, again, the core framework is people, strategy, execution, and cash. Right, the cash
Yeah.
conversion cycle gives you just your definitive breakouts there. Right, And
Yep.
then you also then they refer to the Rockefeller habits. I don't know if anybody ever. I don't think we mentioned that book. That is a book that I have read. It's pretty solid. If
Mm-hmm.
anyone's familiar with, they obviously we all know who the Rockefellers are, right? But I think we know who they are for the wrong reasons. But they have some core habits within their family dynamics that keeps them where they are, right?
Yeah.
And whatever highs and lows they get, so follow me for a moment, people. I don't even have my whiteboard available. So highs and lows. So you figure a mountain at the top. So you got a mountain, and you got a dip, a valley, a mountain, and a valley, mountain, and a valley. Peak of the mountain valley, right? So the objective is with anything pretty much in life is you're gonna have your highs and your lows, right? The objective is, or the goal is, or whatever word you want to use, try to build a platform from somewhere on that peak across to the next peak. So even if you hit a low, you're not going all the way down to come all the way back up. And that's where your systems and your processes and come into place, strategy, planning, etc. You're building a platform. So you're gonna have your lows, you're gonna fall, but that fall short is probably more educational than a deficit,
Yeah. And
right? If you position yourself that way.
but the system allows you to rebound faster too. That's the other part.
Correct. Correct.
That's the
Correct.
thing.
Correct.
But these Rockefeller habits are like real. They're. I mean, I could speak on them, man. This is. I mean, this is. We talk all the time about we speak in businessese, if you call it, and business does have a language which some argue is accounting, but their terms is a vernacular in business. But these habits here, I mean, this is vital. I mean, I've I mean, going through the cash conversion cycle, everything you said, absolutely. The accountant and cash flow apologist that I am totally believes that we introduced a lot of words here that they might be new to you, or you might have heard. We were talking about it this week. Someone might have heard burn rate. People are like, "Oh, what's my burn rate?" I've been in meetings with people talking about burn rate, and they just saying it like they just say, "Oh, the burn rate," and no one really knows what we're talking about. Quantify it anyway. But
I think he paused for a moment, people. We had a short pause going on there. Uh-oh. Are you there? Hello? Oh, looks like he had some technical difficulty there. Burn rate, churn.
it came off. I got so excited, I took everything off the
Oh,
screen.
that's what you did. I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah. So the executive team has to be healthy. That means you have to be
Yes.
healthy.
Yeah.
Mind, body, spirit. But the alignment, and that's another catchword that people use, align with a number one priority for the quarter, which is double entendre. Number one priority. People use the word priority and say, yeah, I have 3 priorities. Well, then you have no priorities. A priority is a priority. So you have to stay focused for the quarter. You have to stay focused on what you're doing. That's we like to pretend that we multitasking, we handling things and all that. No, you're not. You just giving 25% to 4 things, or 15% to one, 60 to another. It's you have to, and these Rockefeller habits, not me habits, Rockefeller habits, right? That's what I'm saying. But accountability, we talk about that. Feedback, reporting and analysis of feedback. Core values and purposes are alive. They're a living part of the organization. The values and the core is a lot. Is a culture. You build a culture in your business. It's a culture is a thing, and that's part of what Core was talking about. That line in the graph is your culture. So lose a client, everybody doesn't start. It's not a fire drill. Okay, gain a client is not a party. That's what we do. We keep it moving, keep things moving all the time. And wow, everyone involved can articulate the company's strategies and goals. Everyone. If you have a strong organization going from, I don't care if it's you. And so I say it's a lot because of solopreneurs. People think, well, I don't have other people or XYZ. The way I would say to look at this is everyone can articulate the company strategies and goals. The test for you, if you're solo, is that can you articulate it at a given moment, no matter what the situation? When you're in business mode, yeah, you can. You're in business mode. I'm focused into this and that. But can you articulate it when you laying in a cabana in the Caribbean and somebody says something that might be pertain to your business? And they say, hey, so-and-so XYZ, and you have a conversation. And people ultimately have conversations. Say, well, what do you do? So on and so forth. Oh, you have a company. How long? So forth. Can you articulate it then? I know you're supposed to be on vacation, but when you are running a business, the business is an extension of you. And it could be an organization. It could be a church. It could be whatever you want. It's part of you. So being able to, even if you're solo, you have to be able, the many facets of you must be able to articulate at all times. And then we scorecard employees, and that's one thing that I don't know if we talked about KPIs in that manner, but it's a scorecard for employees. When you have employees, all of them, you're not necessarily trying to how should we say, you're not necessarily going to open the books to them. So one way to kind of them to say, okay, to make them understand. I take an example like a restaurant, one I might know of. And so to give them an incentive, if we know, if management decides that we have to make a certain number a day and we do our research and figure out how many orders that is, I can now have the team concentrate on orders without telling them necessarily what the revenue goal is, if that's not appropriate for them. But now we have something to judge them on, and people love playing games. Gamification is like what's happening out here, so people love that stuff. So it puts a little interest in work, and so the core values and the employees can articulate the company strategy and goals. That goes along with the KPIs. So that's one way you could teach them. Example I just said, look, for us to XYZ, we have to have on average this number of orders for the week. Each night we put it on the board, we see how many we off. Now I put it out there. Now you can start seeing the strategy. Everyone says, hey, we got to do 300 orders a week. Sure, we're a little short. And as I've said before, it also helps because it gets people, it's vested interest in you for me to get these 300 for the week because, like if we don't, someone's going hungry and it might not be me. So you might want to think about that. So yeah, that's just, man, hold up, a little flashback there. But that's what we have going on. Very good book. Excellent choice. Excellent choice. Nice. But it is available on Kindle and on Audible. So and you could always go to the library if that's what you choose to do.
True indeed. True indeed.
That's where we are. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's that. Beautiful. We talked about that for a minute, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this.
So what we're getting ready to do now is we're getting ready to bring in our guests, right? And so just before we do that, we're getting ready to bring in our guest. I'm going to let her introduce herself and who she is, what she does, why she does what she does. And you guys, again, hopefully you have your number 2 Tickendora pencils sharpened with the erasers on the back.
Yep. And most of all, you don't have to hear these 2 windbags talking continuously.
Nah, I'm not a windbag. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, it can drone.
I'm a tower at the beach, man.
Yeah, well,
you know, I'm one of the tallest towers at the beach.
Okay, well, you don't have to hear me ranting for
understood.
20 more minutes.
Understood. Cool.
You got it.
All right, so we getting ready to bring her in. Okay, I will at least introduce her as Rochelle Johnson.
How about that?
Hey,
wow, actually fit.
Hey,
yeah. Hey,
how are y'all doing, Kory?
Good. How you doing?
Doing
good. How about you?
Yeah, glad to be here.
Thank you for wasting some of your Saturday time on us.
Oh, this is not wasting, trust me. It's always a joy to talk to you both.
Nice. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Now, well, tell me something before we get you to introduce yourself. Why does he get the big picture and we get the little picture?
I'm trying to make her.
Oh, come on, James.
There you go. How about that? So none of us like that better.
Yeah, you know what? Let her have her moment. Let her have her moment just like that. So, Rochelle, go ahead. We're going to put you on the big screen and you introduce yourself. Tell everybody what you do, who you are, and then we'll get into some other talking points shortly.
Yeah. So I am Rochelle Johnson. I am the owner of Thorough Creative, which is a graphic design business that utilizes creativity and organization to elevate businesses through branding. So I do a lot of like logo branding design. I do print collateral. I do design collateral, social media, corporate identity. But my true passion is just combining organization, creativity, and also helping people. Branding is a very important part of business. So when you have those core fundamental things with organization, branding, creativity, it helps to elevate your business because you're marketing yourself and you're marketing yourself in a good way. So that's a little bit about me professionally. Personally, I live in Charlotte with my husband, Ryan. And we just enjoy hanging out with our friends, our family. We're very passionate about spending time with other people, helping other people. And we're looking forward to just continue with my business and continue with life.
All right.
Nice. Thank you very much.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why.
No, we good. Leave it. Just there we go. There you
go. That's what I need.
There you go.
Yeah. You know. I'm on it. So go ahead. It's all on you.
Nice. So I think we share something in common too. You're a twin.
Yes. I have a twin sister. She is also a graphic designer. She also has a graphic design business. So in the future, we'll probably try to make a business merging together because we work very well together. But right now we just have 2 separate businesses.
Nice. Well, you got to. So what we'll do is we'll delegate you the hat so you can get her on the show next time. So whenever she's ready.
But you're Rochelle and she's
Raquel.
I knew it was similar. Awesome.
Nice. So branding. So you work on your purpose is helping people brand themselves, brand identity, right? And I think that word, is it's a simple word. It spells 5 letters. But I think most people don't really understand what that means. I think it's used very loosely, it is used very, very loosely, right? So would you say, and I'm not going to steal your thunder here. I'm just trying to invoke a thought here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that one of the core principles, and I might be saying this wrong, of branding is the word archetype?
Yes. So archetype describes, so there's 12 different archetypes. So in my branding process, I'll get like details about clients, what they do, what they offer, their personality, their target audience. And I use all that information to figure out what archetype. And basically an archetype will describe like what you do, who you are, the kind of presence or feeling that your company portrays.
So I just want to pause there just for a hot second, right? Because we try to demonstrate, we try to bring into real life anything that happens in the moment, so people can turn the moments into actionable momentum, right? And
Yes.
so you said a part of your process, and so we've been talking about processes and systems pretty much across the board, and so your process of discovery is asking the identifiable questions so you can use the system that you have in place to help people with define their branding of their organization.
Yes, that's correct. There's a lot of research that goes in before I get to like all the creative and the prettiness, and you have to have an understanding of who you are, your why, what products you offer or services you offer. So instead of me just like jumping in, giving you pretty images, pretty graphics, I really take that core time to do research and figure out what essentially will benefit your business, what will connect best with your target audience.
Right.
Oh, so you mean that you don't just throw images out on social media and then everybody's gonna flock to me? That's what you're telling me?
No, there's actually a lot of brand strategy that goes behind everything that a graphic designer does. Even when it comes down like the font choice, the colors, any visuals, imagery, photography, like is always in my process is always a reason behind everything I do.
And yeah, well, your why is critical. Very good. I was just asking, for the people. I'm going to be the people, and I'm just going to ask questions. I'm going to ask.
So what are you going to be? What do you call? Is it a treatment book? Is it your final deliverable besides the logos and everything? The book that defines the color palette, the font,
brand guidelines.
Yeah, there you go.
Or some people say brand standards. They're both kind of the same thing.
I love it. It's like an owner's manual.
Yes, exactly.
Most people don't read owner's manuals. I mean, but it's an owner's manual. I've experienced her process and it's wonderful. And the information in there is stupendous. So I'll let kind of James, you got another question, but I definitely want you to kind of real high level talk about that particular part of what's in it and why it's in it, if that makes sense. To kind of strengthen the purpose of having this information as part of the brand.
Yeah, so a brand standard or a brand guideline is basically essentially like your Bible of your creative business, your creative side of your business. So it can list out like your fonts, what we use for like headlines, your body copy, and it can list out your color palette. So what colors do you use when you're in print versus what you use on web, because it's going to be two different kind of shades. And then it can also show you what logos to use in certain cases. A lot of brands have multiple versions of logos. They'll have like a horizontal one, vertical, they have icons. And then it can also go into further details about, of course, your brand archetype, your tone and feel, the look you want to portray, your target audience. And it just everything is in one place. And why that's so important is brand consistency and brand awareness. You don't want to put something out one day that looks this way, looks like A, and then the next day put something out that looks like B. You need to be consistent across the board, because when consumers are looking for you or they're referring you, that they need to have a sense of, oh, this all goes together as a family. So that's pretty much what a brand standard or brand guideline is. It just helps keep you on track visually so that your consumers can know who you are.
Interesting. I mean, I'm having hard times asking questions as the people because I know what you're talking about. But is I'll ask you from this standpoint. How do you? I think people think it's important, but I don't think they understand it. So, kind of, what's your pitch per se, or how do you tell somebody like this really is important? It's not just like, you know, just go do a logo on a napkin, scan it, and put it out there, because there's so many businesses out here nowadays. So how do you, you know, or you know what, even better, when doing your thing, how do you overcome objections? What kind of objections do you get from people, and how do you overcome them?
Yes. So I would say logo and branding, anything you do for your business is investment, right? When you put money or time into something, you're going to have a better outcome, right? So investing in a professional instead of perhaps like going on Canva or one of these automative websites that just spit out logos like this. Hiring a professional designer, you can have that one-on-one tailored attention. And you also get a better return on your investment. They understand who you are, what you do. You can talk to them back and forth about, you know, decision making. They're able to explain, oh, I use this color because it portrays this kind of feeling, or I use this font because your brand or your target consumer is luxury. So this gives off a luxury feeling. So having a professional graphic designer, professional creative is definitely investment. You tend to see better outcome and better connections with your consumer and your target audience. And then also you get that professionalism. Like if you're gonna put something out there in the world, do it professionally, do it great. And with a professional graphic designer, they can give you that as well.
Okay, so now I always ask this, and I don't like asking this, but say, you know, we use the term investment. Okay, so investment can mean a lot of things, but say I'm starting out, or I'm a young company, very low revenue. What's the basics I need to get in? And I give out your number, but what's a range, industry range? It doesn't have to be your range, but like, what should I expect? Because I think a lot of people, yeah, it's a great idea, but they get trepidation because they're like, same thing happens with CPAs. They like, they don't know what it costs. They say they're so afraid. So sometimes they don't even call because they're like, oh, well, I can't afford that. But that, you know, what do we, you know, what would we feel like? You know, like I said, don't pigeonhole yourself. Just
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I would say it kind of varies between graphic designer, depending on experience. Of course, if there's a graphic designer that's first starting out, they're going to be less expensive. If there's a graphic designer that has decades of experience, of course, you're going to get more quality work. But as far as starting out with your company, you definitely need a primary logo. You need a color palette, and you need your fonts. Those are the basic essentials to get started with your branding and with marketing yourself. And that can start from anywhere from about $1,000 to $2,000 to invest in that. But if you think about it, if you're putting something out there, it looks professional, you can easily get that back through the customers that you are pulling in.
Yeah. And I mean, unless you get crazy, but the intent is not to do it every year. It's like it's not necessarily one time, because you might want to update it, but it's an investment. And that's what I wanted from you, something to kind of frame. So people think, because some people would think, well, $200, you know, like that, and they think that's an investment, you know, which in some cases it is. But yeah, that's what I wanted. That was a great answer.
Yes. Yeah. And like you said, like a logo is, sometimes companies will update them, but most of the time it's like decades, like 10 years. So if you think about it, starting off $2,000 over 10 years, that's a great investment.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty good. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's Mr. Franklin. You got something brewing in your mind.
Nah, you know, I'm just taking it all in. You know, again, you know, take it from the crown to the ground, right? High level down to practical steps, practical information that people could use and apply, right? You know, I think, you know, thank you, Rochelle, for explaining that. You know, even when I went through my exercise with you, and I'm very familiar with a lot of stuff, I was enlightened by. So let me say this. I think as professionals, we're a little too modest, and that's okay, right? We don't want to be out here tooting our horns too much. But I do want to accentuate there's value in things that you should know that you didn't realize that you didn't know when you reach out to a professional for help. And that's the professionalism behind a professional is the nuances that they develop over the years of strict concentration and expertise, because that's what they do. And I think, you know, if we minimize certain wasteful actions and mistakes, now that's not to say we can't do it all our own, because bootstrapping is a real thing, right? And, you know, in our community or communities, you know, people bootstrap for various reasons, but one of the biggest reasons, especially for underserved communities and underserved entrepreneurs, is access to funding, right? Access to certain resources. So there's some gatekeeping going on. You know, we know the history on that, right? However, when you get to an opportunity to learn about it, even if you can't afford it, having a conversation, getting in position to understand it, will allow your mindset to get past what you think you know to, hey, what if? What's the possibility? Or you can even plan for it, right? Forecasts and projections. Hey, I need a budget of $2,000. So if I say in 12 months I'm gonna divide 2,000 by 12 months and put that money away, boom, I need to reach out to a branding agency to help me get myself together, whether it's branding, web design, it doesn't matter, anything, right? But I think your output, your process and your output is, again, through my experience and what I've seen your other work, is impactful, right? And so I implore people to you know, reach out to Rochelle, reach out to anybody for that fact, right? And have a conversation. You know, reach out to us, have a conversation, get information. You know, the days of information is vast. It's a lot of information. You know, 30 seconds ago, some new information just came out. 60 seconds ahead of time, some more new information about to come out. But build, make sure you get information, you build your knowledge base. You know what I'm saying? You build your knowledge base of information and resources, right? So that goes back to ecosystem, that goes back to strategy, so on and so forth, right? So Rochelle, I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but I think that it's important for you to get your flowers now, right? And we're trying to give everybody their flowers. It don't matter what phase they're at. And I think you do very good work because I've seen it firsthand, you know? And that branding piece. So when you archetype one of my logos, you know, hold on, let me take another roll real quick. Big room conversations, all they talk about is new logos. They say new logos. It's like, hey, we got to get these new logos in, or we're going to acquisition a new logo. And you know, I used to hear that for a long time, and I'm like, why? Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? But now I understand, because when they reference that one word of acquisition and new logos, or going after logos in a competitive manner, they're talking about the branding aspect of it.
Yes, most definitely. And it's a good point that you bring up, like information, because one thing that sets me apart from other graphic designers is that I love to teach. I love to teach my clients about reasoning behind things, why this would work, why this won't work, why this color is going to really make you stand out against your competitors. So it's always working with me. You're going to come out with a nice visual that's very impactful, but you're also going to come out with more knowledge and understanding of why, the reason behind why branding is so important.
Yeah. Okay. See, because I had two questions. You just answered one of them. And I'll speak the question to go back, but you just answered it. I mean, the marketing difference, like, quite frankly, yeah, you can get logos made on Fiverr or Upwork or any of those places like that. And I do, because I'm doing a lot of times play stuff. But even my the original one for the firm was going that route because I ain't had no money, but and plus the availability wasn't there. But understanding, I would tell people, if they have the opportunity to work with someone like you from the get-go, it's going to be better for you, especially if you don't really have any marketing experience or anything. You're good at whatever you do, and you just don't know. As a consumer, you understand that, but you don't know it from some of the science that goes behind it. I would highly tell you to speak with somebody like, and then someone that could do the design and act, because there's a lot of designers out there too, and they'll do whatever you ask for. You'll say, hey, I want this. I want a cat that's hanging from a rafter. And so you give them a vision that it might not even have, like, it may not really brand your business. It might brand you as a psycho or something, and they'll do the logo for you, and they're like, okay, yeah, let me get that piece. But to have somebody, as you said, that likes to teach and will really do research before coming up and give you information, it's advisory. I mean, that's what it is. We talk about advisory work all the time. You're an advisor, so it's more than just, I'm a graphic designer. You're an advisor, and that's very important. That's something we strive in. But my other question, so yeah, that's the difference between you and Fiverr. You go get a $10 logo, that's cool, something for you play. But if it's something that you plan on building a business or organization from, you need to speak to someone like Rochelle. But my other question was, it came up in the chat here, copywriting, or trademarking, probably more so with trademarking. Just talk about, should you trademark, or what, the process for it, because that's another investment too. But what's your thoughts on trademarking?
Absolutely, yes. Definitely get your logo and your branding trademarked or copyrighted. That just protects you and your business. If you see down the road that someone is using your logo, and they could be using it in a malintent, like they could be putting stuff out there that doesn't align with what you want the world to see or see you represented as. So when you have all that copyright, logo, all that legal behind it, it's just that extra security for your business.
Yep. To bump them in the head.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just a lot easier to get a better outcome when you do have stuff copyrighted. And a quick fact, a fun fact, if you do your logo on Canva, you cannot, like through Canva, those are not copyright eligible. Just to let the audience know. So that's why it's important to actually get a professional, so that they can also double check against. There's websites out there to help graphic designers, professionals, to actually look at trademark databases to make sure your logo isn't conflicting with another person's logo.
Okay, see, that's another reason. Now, I'm going to ask you, because I know you're not a copyright attorney, but
Correct.
Been around. So, okay, I mail it to myself. Is that copywriting? that was always a thing in the music industry. People would try to say, yeah, the publishing, you mail the lyrics of the song to yourself with a date and stamp, and they tried to say that was a version of copywriting.
That is not. However, if it does come down to a case where you're in court, for example, if someone was using my logo, and I didn't have it copyrighted, for example, I could prove that, hey, this is the file that was originally created. This is the working file. This is the date stamp. However, it's always best to get through legal system, do the paperwork, make that investment to get your logo, your branding copyrighted, so that it's just that protection.
Okay.
But there's this disclaimer here. If somebody decides they want to do that, when you mail it to yourself, just don't open it.
Yeah. That's the street tale.
That's don't. They used to say, don't open it, because if you open it, then how do we know you didn't put it in there?
I know. Like, yeah.
Right?
I'm just
before,
telling.
Before court, let me fold this piece of paper and stick it in this envelope. Don't open it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I meant to say that too. Don't open it. You mail it to yourself and don't open it. Right. And then you have it. On follow up on that though, just, and this is more from what you know, not necessarily your personal experience, but using like the legal Zooms and all that for copywriting, is that something you see people doing, or is that people is better to go to actually trademark attorney? Your thoughts on that? What do you think?
You can just do it online. There have been people to do LegalZoom and other like third-party companies, but I would just say just do it online. You can do it through the state, the trademark association. So it's pretty easy to do that way. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. See, that's it. See, I got the questions from the people. That's my role here, to service the people on this panel. So,
understood. Yeah, I want to say something before we wrap. And we're going to dive into this on Conversations with Core. Rochelle, we'll get a date to talk about this, right? But I want to highlight the brand guidelines again, right? Because I want to talk about your process and that, and why it's important, right? And you can expand on this a little bit more, because I think you saw me go through this, or you heard me go through this. You took me through your discovery process. You were asking me questions, but I already had in my mind what I want. Because remember, I created something before, but I already had in my mind I know what I want, right? And then you took me through the process, and it wasn't until you went through the brand guidelines with me before you gave me the samples. You didn't really give me pushback. You taught me some things. In my own mind, I was like, I had to take a moment and go, wait a minute, I didn't think about that. I didn't even know that. And then why? And this line right here represents this. Now, I'm saying all of this to say, when you start a business or you have a business and you're pitching, because you're always pitching your business. You're either selling to clients, that's still pitching. You pitching to investors, maybe you need a loan, maybe you pitch it to your family. Maybe it's just you part of a group and you just telling people what you do, how your business is, so on and so forth. And understanding the brand, having somebody professionally understand who you are, right, combined with your why, helps your pitch. It helps to brand the pitch, your purpose, your vision, your mission to the business. Am I in the right range here?
Yes, you're on the right page.
Okay. So I got a little passionate about that. So I just, this week has been very interesting and impactful for me. So new information, new opportunities and new things, because we try to learn and keep moving forward. But like I said, we're going to, on Conversations with Core, we're not going to give away the secret recipe, but I want to, we can use me as an example, but I want to touch on high level topics of what's in a brand guideline package, and how that impacts the perceived value of self, the organization, and what you expect your clients or customers to perceive about your business as well. Because it's always about the compelling reason why somebody wants to do business with you. Number one. Then it's your delivery of said products or services, and then the whole thing is the experience, the customer experience, and why would they even want to rate you, why would they even want to come back? And so we'll talk about that.
Right.
Interesting.
But yes, the logo is just a part of your branding. The logo is the visual. Branding itself is a whole big book of different chapters that is how your consumers feel about you. It's the message you put out. It's the products you put out. It's how you interact and how they interact with you. So we could definitely dive deeper in that on the next on your podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm writing that down right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad you said that, because in the last 3 to 5 years, well, me being out here with all different things I've been involved with, at one time everybody wanted to be a publicist. All right, that was the thing. All right, everybody was a publicist, and I would always be, so who do you know in media? You know, it's like you just woke up and said you're a publicist. A publicist has media relationships to get stories written. Then some of those same people turned around. If they didn't turn to a business coach, they turned into, I'm a brand specialist. I love that one. Brand specialist. A brand specialist, and like, okay, but they don't understand what branding is. And I distill it down. You know, I just, you know what I tell people, I'm like, what do consumers think when they hear your name or they see your stuff? What do they think about you? You know, that's what your brand is. So people love my brand this, my brand that. I mean, well, if you, all right, I'm not even gonna say that, but look, it's understanding what they do think and what you want them to think, and that's kind of where people fall. You know, they're lost. But I'm speaking in it from the people. This is great information. This is great things that people should follow up on, because these are the things that drive your revenue. Right. So back to cash flow all day. It drives your revenue. It makes people interested. And not only that, it makes them come back. You know, and one thing we discussed yesterday, and I believe it. I mean, look, people want to be part with all this individualism in the world. People still want to be associated with stuff that they think is good, they think is famous, they think makes them look better. They want to be aligned with that. And so from the marketing standpoint, the branding sets all that. Then the marketing actually is a separate exercise. It's really different exercise, but the brand sets there. And as a part-time sociologist, I totally understand how it works. So it's beautiful. But yes. I might have to go get some plasma or something and get you look at some stuff I got.
Well, hey, you know how to contact me, most definitely.
No, but I got to get the plasma first. So what they thinking about, like $30 a shot now? Okay, all right, we'll see about that. But no, hey, that's what I got. I mean, thanks for taking your Saturday morning to. I mean, I'm sure you could have been anywhere else in the world.
Well, I'm glad to be here. It's always a joy to talk to y'all, like, and just kick it and just talk about life and how business is going. And I also want to give both of you your flowers because I was in biz therapy and it's helped my business a whole lot. So I'm teaching y'all, you're teaching me. And if you haven't done biz therapy, just definitely do it. Invest in yourself. As I would say, invest in yourself. So, Kory, James, I want to give you your flowers too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, I had absolutely nothing to do with it, but that's it. But yeah, I'm taking them though. I mean, why not? You don't get a lot of flowers. That's cool. Well, I appreciate it. I'm sure. I know he appreciates it. We don't even have to. I already know he appreciates it. He's on another level like that. So cool, wonderful. I'll be quiet now.
No, well, we good. I mean, I think we pretty much we wrapped up here. Rochelle, we're gonna do our exit strategy. Don't leave. Don't hit a button. You know, because we do our exit and most people just hit the button and then they jump off. We just trying to get off the lot Right. So just, assume the role. There you go.
Right. So, man, I know. So well, cool. Here's a sign off today. We had a very special guest with a topic that I think you guys should go back and rewatch. To be honest with you, go back and rewatch, reach out, or do your due diligence. Study it because it makes a difference. Nonprofits, everything, it makes a difference. So definitely check that out. And we are 2 weeks. I'll see how it is. I don't know because I'll be in transit in 2 weeks, but we'll see if I'll be.
No, that's not gonna happen. So
you gonna be in transit too?
I'm being in transit too. Yeah.
Oh, so we got a month.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we might be able to be in transit at the same time, but they just gotta see,
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's play it by ear, right? So
anyway, go back to subscribe, comment below. If you're on Facebook, go to YouTube. We need the subscribers, and to support the channel. And but we really do have some new content coming, like for real. Like I've been working on this all week, like the philosophy all behind it. It's going down. So do that. And of course, we have to give our obligatory chug up the deuce. We out. See you in a month or so. All right, there you go. That's right. Yes, all right, we out. Peace.